H-Town, what's up? You know what time it is? It's time for the best 120 minutes of your day. The Chop Shop, the nation's #1 urban sports talk show, and also your midday sports happy hour. Yours truly, Robert Hatter, alongside Jim Hicks, coming to you live from Houston, Texas. But we're broadcasting all over the world via Facebook Live and YouTube Live. And it is Tuesday morning. Let me tell you right now, text, tag, tell a friend. The Chop Shop is on right now live, and tell them they got two ways to watch it. They can watch us on YouTube. They can watch us on Facebook. And you know what? I didn't do it yesterday. Guess what I'm about to do today? I'm gonna share it on YouTube. See, I found out how to share it on YouTube too. Y'all shouldn't have showed me how to do that. So yeah, I just want people. We got some unique topics to talk about. I think we got a college coach. I'm not sure, but I think we got a college coach. I'm sometimes I'm the last to know, but I think we got a college coach. Will be on today. I'm sharing as I'm looking. The reason I'm looking down, I'm sharing the show right now, and the reason I'm sharing it while I'm on the show because I can't share it. I want to share it live, so. Just in case you say, well, why he didn't want to do that before? It got to be live before you can share it, man. I want to share it live. But great day. Shout out to everybody. Let me recognize my starting five. These are the first 5 people who sign up to the Facebook feed or the YouTube feed. So we got Chris Charles right there. Then I got another feed on my personal device. Let me see. I want to see who was that. I saw them people earlier. Oh, I saw a name that I had never seen before. Gosh. And I lost the name. But that's all right. Well, I hope if you're on if you're on the feed, say something so you can pop up on my main feed. Because I missed somebody. I saw them and I looked down from my phone. Now they're gone. But we got Chris Charles, Daryl Anderson, Thaddeus Moody all the way from the Windy City. We got Franklin Paul. Where you been, Franklin? Corey Michael Anderson. I'll never remember Corey being in the starting 5. And let's see, we got Corey Willis. We got 2 Corys. Corey Willis is the 6th man of the day. You know what, y'all? Where my girls at? Wait a minute, hold on. I saw it. Wait a minute. I got it. Sonya, I saw you. Can you see my comments? Sonya, I see them. I see it on my personal feed, but just not on the main feed. So they gradually getting you back. I see you, Sonya. Let me see. Who else I got? I saw another lady. Y'all know I'm looking for the women. Maria, that's who her name. Maria Caceres. Oh, Maria, that's all. Yamanya. Hey, Maria. I saw your name, and I wanted to get back to you. I see Angie Holcomb trying to sneak in there on me. Say something, Angie, so we can pop you on the screen, so I mean people can see. Uh, uh, I see you out there, man. I got see what's happening. There you go, Maria. What's happening? Yeah, yeah. I see you, Sonya. Sonya, I got you, baby. I got you. I see you right there. You're in live and living color. I sure wish I could. I'm gonna give me another camera where I can just turn around and show y'all what I see one day, and y'all see my cool little setup. They got me hooked up over here. But I see Ray Moore, my Memphis teammate in the building. Ray Moore. Daryl Barnes said he got his checkup at MD Anderson yesterday. Cancer is all gone. Hold on, Daryl Barnes. Cancer. You say cancer gone? We got something for cancer. Hold up. My man said cancer is all gone. He cancer free. Let me find my mute. Let me this for Daryl Barnes today. No, that. That's for you, D Barnes, baby. We've been praying for you, baby. I ain't got no bill. This my bill. Who else we got? Gary, I don't have a bill. Gary, I'm gonna get a bill. I got so much stuff to get put in this thing. I mean, I told you I got a Ferrari sitting at my disposal, and guess what? I ain't driving it but 20 miles an hour. I ain't put it on the Autobahn yet. So, but I got you. Shout out to you, Daryl Barnes. I'm praying today. I'm praying for Chris Walker's grandmother. She goes in, I think, surgery today. Let's pray for her. I love her this morning. I prayed for her this morning. I prayed for her yesterday. And I got to talk to her yesterday. She is a bundle of joy. This the grandmother. If y'all remember, Chris Walker used to say during the NCAA brackets, his grandma always changed bracket when one of her teams and write up a whole new bracket because she'd be perfect all the way to the end. So I got a chance to talk to her yesterday, and it was so much fun because Chris said, man, my grandmother said you be cursing too much. I said, I didn't curse yesterday on the show. She said, baby, you didn't curse yesterday on the show. Don't listen to Chris. So Chris be messy to everybody. So y'all, I'm just letting y'all know, even to the grandma. But that's what else we got? We got so much stuff, and I know y'all want to talk about what's happening today. I'm gonna go there for a second. The Kevin Durant sweepstakes are over. Katie is staying with the Nets. We have agreed. They said they opened a statement. We have agreed to move forward with our partnership to bring a championship to Brooklyn. Shout out to them. And let me tell you something, Dallas. I apologized yesterday, Dallas. I sent my prayers up to you, but I meant to acknowledge y'all had bad weather. Bad rain was flooding up there, man. My hearts went out for y'all. Hope everybody is safe. Corey, I hope you and all your family is safe up there. Yeah, because I mean, we have those things, and we pray for each other. So Dallas, you're in my heart yesterday, and I didn't say it on the show yesterday, but you were in my heart. Okay, you got me, Dallas. Hey, y'all, you remember I was talking about Seattle and the crossover game. LeBron came to the game. Jamal Crawford did the game in Seattle because that's where he's from. Guess who else was there? Guess who was right in the middle of the day? Wesley Yates and his family. He was up there visiting Washington yesterday, over the weekend. Had a hard time getting back because of the Dallas storm. But they were at the game yesterday. They was in the game in Washington yesterday. The Yates family have ties to Washington, and they were inside the game. Matter of fact, Wes played in the high school version of that on that same floor before the pros came in earlier that day. So Wes got a chance to play on that same floor that LeBron played. So shout out to Wes Yates and his family, man. Let me tell you something. It blew me away when he told me about he had such a great time visiting Washington. What's up, Russell Hubbard? I haven't seen you in a while. Hey, Dale. Let me see. That my girl, Mindy. I got to act right now, Mindy. Y'all see I'm going to be a little tense. If you see behind me, And ladies, I'm gonna talk more extensive about it tomorrow. These are all the women. Let me get no. Hold on, I got something for you. I got something for you. I got to show this. These are all the powerful women that we had. Let me see. Wait a minute. It should be. Hold up. I messed up. Hold up, y'all. I got to be able to get this picture. Hold up. Come on. Okay, there it is. These are all the women that were at James Harden's brunch on Sunday. He gave to all the women. All they did, they came in. I mean, beautiful, powerful women, black women. If you might see somebody, Yolanda Adams, powerful women. It was doctors, lawyers, scientists, all of these bad girls. And I was there for the event. Yolanda Adams just tore it up, and what's my girl name? I know. I got to get her. I got to call her name out. She's on the radio. See, I don't listen to the radio that much. Don't tell her. But I know I screenshotted that lady. I didn't. But I'm gonna get it when I take a break. I'm gonna get that lady's name. Radio personality. I hope somebody was there. Yes, let me tell you, beautiful, powerful women that were in that place. Man, James Harden was pouring into these women's businesses, pouring into these women's lives. He didn't have to do this, man. But guess what? He had a mother. He had two great examples. He had a mother and a sister that always took care of him. He said, I always want to empower women. So shout out to James again for this women's empowerment luncheon. They went in everything they want. It was laid out free. They didn't have to. I don't know. He treated them like the queens they were and are. So shout out to him for doing that for these ladies, man. Because guess what? You remember I told you, one of the most disrespected and undervalued people on this planet is a black woman. But on this show, Women Rock Wednesday was concepted with y'all in mind. So don't ever in this platform, y'all number one. So Chuck said the Sunday brunch was the best. Yeah, it was, y'all. I'm telling you, I wish I could have transformed. Share the show, y'all. I wish I could have transformed everybody to be in that place and hear the message. I wish if I can figure out how to get that message that Yolanda Adams gave Keisha. That's the lady's name. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Oh, thank you, man. Keisha Nicole. I don't know. See, I don't. Thank you so much. But I wouldn't have knew who she was if I don't come to this brunch. I wouldn't have knew who a lot of these ladies if I don't come to this brunch. Shout out to you ladies. I'm gonna mess around. I'm gonna get all of y'all names and I'm gonna shout y'all out on this show. I'm gonna figure out everybody was there. I know a few of them was there, but listen. I got something for you. So share the show. 97 Keisha. Thank you, y'all. Helping me. Boy, y'all help me out. I told y'all I don't listen to the radio that much. Shut up. What's the boy? Kevin Freightman, you always got something to say. All right. So let me see. Let me get there because I know we're supposed to have a guest today. But I got something to give you before the guests come on. First of all, I'm gonna give you a couple of highlights from the games this weekend. Let me give y'all some. My young fellas was in there this weekend. I got the highlights and I can put them up now. I think let's go. Here we go. I got who should I go for? 2003 first.
Forever Young Films.
Freddie Biggett, Sean Wells, Cam Thompson, Jovan Murray, Peyton Whittington. Make sure
I meant 2023. I'm sorry. Anybody got a son? Anybody got a son in here? Shout out to baby right now. If anybody see a highlight of some kids in your program, shout them out right now. This the final. I go JoJo. I see JoJo Tucker. Who's big fella right there? Somebody tell me who is that. And I like him. Slam number 59. Who's shooting that jumper? Who is number 59? Where my guys? Where my summer basketball? You know what? Y'all that. I like the little dribble pull up there. Ooh, okay. 79, is that Damon Jones' son? Good pass. Sean Wells, 59. Thank you, Gary. Who is that? I like him too. Who was the white kid right there? No, Mr. Sullivan, you not no starting five.
Peyton Whittington. Make sure I got everybody. Great job. Pictures can be taken for the champions.
I give you a.
Forever Young Films.
Brady Biggett, Sean Wells, Cam Thompson.
Let me make sure.
Jovan Murray. Peyton.
Forever Young Films.
Time running out. Last minute. They have a hard time like this. Chris doing it all right now. First team is 21. For the lead team after 8 minutes, switch on move. Got to start now. Got to knock down those looks. That's good.
Y'all, these are the 20, I think this 24. 2024.
Team 6 in blue. Big basket for 3.
You better not pull that up right there. Oh, I like him. I like him.
Brandon with possession.
What's up, Kenneth Lofton?
Good move by Brandon. Good finish by Brandon. Great work by Brandon Brown.
Oh, I thought he was going to do something with that.
Good look for
Okay. Y'all, I'm just giving y'all a little something. I didn't give it y'all yesterday. We got a college coach coming on shortly. Not shortly, a little bit later, not sure. I just gave y'all a little bit. I didn't want to give y'all the whole thing. But shout out to, again, to Doug and Jimmy for those young kids who came out and competed and, you know, 2 teams won. You know, I think they're going to have the younger, what's that, 2025 and 26 going to be this weekend. But I want to share something with y'all. And I wanted to finish a little bit from yesterday. We're going to talk about Kevin Durant. I'll wait to talk about them because we can talk about them when we get there, when they get here. Kevin Freitman, I'm on the show. Don't be sending me no text, man. Don't be sending me no text. Send me no text. I'm trying to do show. Okay? Thank you. Thank you for trying to be the producer. Send me stuff before the show. But I saw something, and I wanted to really finish and share with y'all because we were talking about the race norming, and I didn't get a chance to finish because Jimmy came in, and there's some people that I want to really acknowledge. And the reason I want us to be able to know stuff like this, because you got sons that play football. You got friends that play football. You got nephews. You got nieces. You got You know, people in your family that's playing this game. But if you go and try to play it at the higher level, I hope you go back and look at the beginning of the show yesterday, because I'm not going to go back and repeat. I'm just going to go back to where I left off. And I just want to give y'all, just piece the both of the shows together. I'm trying to get back to where I left off. Just talking about how during the concussion, the NFL settled the concussion lawsuit against them, and they gave $1 billion, and a little over $1 billion to help these guys who were suffering from dementia, from being beat in the head, so many times, violent clashes all the time, and and I talked about a few of the guys. Some of the guys has passed away, and now they got to figure out how to get their estate and pay their estate so their kids and their families can be taken care of, because this money belonged to that man, but they've been denying them. They denied because they said they had doctors diagnosing all the black players that making claims, saying that their brain was messed up in the beginning, so that's why they scored lower. So they don't get no claim. I mean, it was just horrible, and I'd like to tip my cap to Dr. Amy Lewis. You can Google her. She is a retired player's wife who helped spearhead the race norming changes. Now the court has appointed a player advocacy committee. She is the chair of that particular committee, ladies and gentlemen. She notes, anybody that y'all know who former football players who played in the NFL, and you know what they're going. If you know them, you know what they're going through. I never forget Charles Woodson. Look fit and everything. Me and him had a talk one night that kind of messed me up. We was just talking. I said, "Boy, I'm glad you retired and you got all your faculties and you looking good and you doing." He looked at me. He said, "Man, I don't know what's going on inside me." He said it was serious, and I just left it alone. He said, "I don't know what's going on inside me." But Dr. Lewis, she notes her like my concern that there's a process, for the estate for these deceased men to apply for their awards now. But she also, as you will know, in this quote I'm gonna give you, is still making sure that there is proof in the pudding, saying, quote, "We are hopeful," this Dr. Lewis, "we are hopeful that the NFL would do the right thing here and not try to do a workaround so that they deny the families of those players who died, very often with significant mental defects, from playing this game." It's chilling stuff, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I got to share it, because a lot of y'all probably, but it ain't got nothing to do. We don't know. We don't know that people can go through this stuff early in their lives. I just told you, one guy had to end his whole career at 40. The school district say you can't be a principal. You can't be a teacher no more because you ain't got your faculties. You repeat stuff, and they don't want to get this man a claim. I think every one of these men knew, listen to me, y'all, what they were signing up for in their playing career. I'm talking about the torn ACL, the broken clavicle, the punctured lungs, the broken wheel, or the broken ribs. But they didn't sign up for this. They didn't sign up for this. Ken Gamble, they didn't sign up for the crazy decrease in quality of life. Y'all think about this. Basically, the brain basically failing on them in their 40s and 50s. And they damn sure didn't sign up for the early death. To go through all of that for there to be a program in place to compensate and to try to make right that aspect for the NFL to still have to have a workaround, looking for a loophole to get out of taking care of someone whose post-playing life has been destroyed in the essence? I hope more people will get help as a result of this ruling. I know some people say this is very similar to the Roman days when people were all packed in the Colosseums and watched the gladiators kill one another. Listen to me, it's hard for me not to think about the long-term effects. Even when everything that we know now and the league put the money into it, the safety precautions. Have you been watching the football? Have you been seeing they got the padding on the player's head, the people who get hit the most? We're still, ladies and gentlemen, boom, boom, room. Share this. I want everybody to hear this. We're still slamming our brains against the inside of their craniums. You go see the movie Concussion. It's jarring. I didn't mean to use that, no pun intended. It literally was a scene in there which the doctor, who played by Will Smith, is shaking a potato in a jar. A liquid against a glass side of the jar. He was shaking it so viciously, it lets you know what happens on impact. He was shaking the jar and the potato was just bopping up against the glass. This misnomer, there is a misnomer in the head collisions they talking about. That's what's causing it. Y'all got to hear me on this. And what it really is the fact that it's physics, right? Your body is moving, okay? And it comes to an abrupt stop. But your brain is still moving toward a smash into the inside of your skull. Y'all picturing this? Imagine you in a city bus and you're not holding on to the rail, okay? The bus hit brakes hard and the bus stopped and you keep going. Oh, well, we can put some protection on the outside of the bus. Dust that thing on the outside of the helmet. None of that really changed the fact that you flying through the inside of the bus. You follow me? That is what's happening inside the head of these guys when these guys are getting hit with impact. We are in the midst, y'all. It's early fall again, and Pop Warner is cranking up. High school football is cranking up, and college football is cranking up. Listen to me. I'm in the midst of loving every second of Hard Knocks. I'm falling in love with these guys who entire life is built on 75 car wrecks per practice. They slam it. 75 car wrecks. That's what it's amount to per practice. 75 car wrecks a game. What's wrong with me for loving this sport, watching this sport? What's wrong with me? We are so conditioned to love competition. I love how hard it is. I love how the work and the perseverance and the people who become so wonderfully skilled at it. And I ain't gonna tell you, I love it. But at least now we can say that the players know the long-time ramifications. At least now there's some semblance of a safety net for their post-playing career. As long as the league holds up, it's end of the bargain. In that regard, I don't feel as guilty anymore because I feel it's being addressed. But I had to share that with y'all. You know, I really had to share that with y'all. And I got some I want to give to our next generation and your kids. Okay? I want all of y'all thinking your kid going to an NBA and all of this. What's up, Brian Boatwright? And I want him to go to the NBA too. I want him to go. Chris Walker just popped in. I didn't know he was going to come in. What up, player?
What's going on?
Man, what's happening? How,
I gotta get you a Villanova shirt, man.
what you going to give me? I don't wash the car. Somebody wash it for me. So what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do with it?
What do you mean? What are you gonna do? What do you mean?
I'm not going to wear it.
You gonna wear it?
No, I'm not.
I thought your boy was Kyle Neptune.
Kyle, my boy, let me talk to Kyle. I got to talk to Kyle because it's gonna be hard for me to wear Villanova. And the only reason, y'all, I wouldn't want to wear a Villanova shirt
You know why?
because of him.
Because they win and they were
Man,
because of who?
you.
Why?
Because you just always be for Villanova. Hey, y'all, I ain't gonna lie, he did take me to
Hey,
the
listen,
championship
my
game
grandmother got your prayer this morning. She got your prayer this morning. She got good news, so she was happy.
That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl. That's my girl.
And,
That's my
and
girl.
then I told that Donnie McClurkin song, "A saint is just a sinner who fall down." That's happening.
Absolutely.
Don't even look into that.
Never
That's a
could
sinner
have
if I ain't
made
never
it.
seen one. That's a sinner
Hey,
if I ain't never seen
hey,
one.
hey, I watched Marvin Sapp last night. I don't want to hear what you never could have made. Boy, I didn't know that's how he made that song. Boy, y'all got to watch
What
that.
do you mean?
He
What?
why his movie
That's one of my
came.
favorite songs.
Yeah, he had a song. He had a movie last night. He was playing. He had a boy playing himself, but he was narrating the movie, and he was talking about how he made the song. Blew me away, man. Hey, let me tell you something. I had chills through watching that movie. So I taped it. I hope it's coming on again, but it's awesome, Chris.
Did you tell everybody how I got after John Urie the other day?
Oh, I didn't. The impact wouldn't have been good me telling it. I just never
I
seen
love
you
John.
do that.
Do what?
I ain't never
John.
seen you do. You're so reserved, and so I mean, you went at that dude like you from Rosewood, man. Hey y'all, you know how people.
Man, I'm from Rosewood, Houston Gardens.
Houston God. You know what? You know how people just keep getting away with saying stuff on Twitter. Chris Walker didn't. He texted me a long time ago about it, but he was waiting until he saw John Urie. And this how men do things, y'all. This how grown men do.
Yeah.
They don't go back and forth. He said, "Player, I saw that bull crap you tweeted about them." And Chris just, I said, "I like this." John Urie said, "Man, you know what?
He handled like a man.
I was
John handled
wrong."
like a man.
He said, "I was wrong." But man, I wish I could have taped that. And I hope
He handled it the right way too.
No, both of y'all handled it.
John
No,
handled it the right
both of y'all handled it perfect. That's the example I'm trying to see. Two men just came up and just handled it. And he said he was going to retract it. And I said, I'm going to retract it on the Chop Shop. But I never forget, Chris, you told me about that. But I was just surprised. See, a lot of these guys, Chris, in this community, they don't say nothing to the guys on Twitter. They just go back on Twitter. Well, they do like Kevin Durant and Patrick Beverly. And they're going back and forth in this morning. Back and forth. You say, hey, man, dude, you got the wrong information. Now, whatever you said to him, I really kind of said, let them men handle it. And y'all handle that thing with class and grace. Man, I'm proud of y'all. Shout out to y'all, Doc. Shout out to y'all. But Chris.
Let's get back to that Memphis shirt, man. You telling me you wouldn't wear a Villanova shirt?
No, sir.
On the show.
If Kyle,
you scared to make Penny mad. That's what it is.
I wore Amherst shirt on this show. I wore U of H. I wore U of H on this show. I wore a Purdue shirt on this show.
But you wouldn't wear a Villanova shirt?
No, because of you, Chris. You not listening.
Man, what about Kyle Neptune, man? That's
I love
ridiculous.
Kyle. I'll wear it for Kyle. Thank you.
We're gonna get Kyle on the show.
Huh? Never could have
we get Kyle on
made
the
it. Boy,
show.
that man was singing last night. It's on TV One.
What group did Marvin Sapp used to be with?
Commission.
That's
With,
right.
with
They had
Fred
that one
Hammond.
song,
Oh, this all in the
Fred
movie, Chris.
Hammond.
With Fred Hammond. Then Fred Hammond left the group. And then I didn't know Marvin Sapp's wife. He begged his wife to manage him. She said, man, I got too much stuff to do. I can't be managing you. And man, she messed around and passed away, man. And it messed him up.
I remember that, but he wrote a
It
song
messed him
about
up.
it. Dying.
Guess what he was? Guess what he had just landed in Houston because she said, "Go get that money now," because he's supposed to come to Houston. Soon as he landed and got off the plane, the people greeted him and said his wife has died. So he had to go back. He had landed in Houston. Yeah, she had got him that gig. Somebody paid him $30,000 to come in this joint. He said she was teaching him how to do the books, Chris. She said, I don't want you having no accountant here. I'm finna show you. I want you to come learn how to do these books when something happened to me. And he told me, well, I want to stay here with you. She said, no, you go get that money. You go get that bread. I'll see you when you get back. And she and on that trip, she passed away. And it was man, it's just crazy. It's unbelievable. I can't believe you you made me say I never could have made it. That's how I thought of it. But Chris,
That's a great song.
But Chris, this rate, he said, I thought the movie was terrible. They jumped from year to year. See how different people is. See, Darryl Barnes, that's why you can go into a store and buy one of them ugly outfits, and I won't buy them because we got difference of opinions. You will go buy one of them ugly outfits, and I'll just pass by that rack. We got different opinions. We got different tastes. I looked at the movie for inspiration. I wasn't on there talking about
It was
the
a
light
documentary,
church.
though, wasn't it?
I mean, the light church page. I don't care nothing about all that mess. About the acting. Let me tell you something. It was so powerful that I'm talking about it this morning. So whatever that's your opinion. And you are welcome to your opinions. But guess what? I see why when I go in these stores and see this ugly stuff on the rack. And I say ain't nobody gonna buy that, but people say, yes, they are.
But Darryl Barnes.
Yeah, people got different opinions. So Marvin Sapp, I loved your movie, your documentary. But what up, Chris? But we always got somebody got something to say. We always got something to say.
Not much, man. I was over at the Icebreaker. Not the Icebreaker. What do you call it? Y'all know y'all.
Ruck on the wood. Ruck on the wood. Ruck on the wood.
I was there to Ruck on the wood.
Mm-hmm.
That's what me and John talked, and your boy Herb with his crazy butt. I mean, Herb got a screw loose. If I love Herb, but I'm not gonna tell people. Herb got a screw loose.
Never could have made it.
But Herb care about them kids though. That's the one thing about you gotta have them Herbs out there too now. Gotta have them Herbs out there that care about the kids. But Herb, something wrong with you, man. That's all I gotta say. But it was good seeing people.
By the way, Darryl Barnes, you don't buy Steve Harvey suits, you get them made. Okay, now keep going, Chris.
Yeah,
you get them made. But come on, Chris, what was you about to say?
Yeah, that's funny. You see Darryl laughing over there. But but no, it was a good time, man, watching all the kids out there, man. It's just.
What did you think of it? That's your first one?
No, it's been a while. We got the pandemic. It's been a while.
Okay.
Obviously, Jimmy does a good job as normal, putting an event on. But I'll say this: there's so many kids out there that they have a dream, man, and they just it's just I just tell them all stay encouraged and keep working hard. Mm-hmm. Some are better than others. That boy you told me about at U of H, boy.
I told you. Hey, Chris, Lord, I don't go get you for nothing bad. I would have got you for sitting on the floor.
Yeah.
Say, Chris, look at this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, don't you be trying to call Kyle Neptune either.
Nah, we don't want him. He ain't good enough. But listen though, what I'm saying is, nah, I'll just check Coach Sampson. I'm joking, Bilal. I want them calling me.
Hey, y'all see why I can't wear no Villanova shirt?
No, we like big dudes that shoot threes. But all I'm saying is,
I
yeah, we
like it.
like big dudes
I like
that
it.
shoot threes.
I
That's all.
like that.
He don't fit. He don't
I
fit the
like that.
blueprint. He works for them. They rough and tough and all
Hey,
that
but
stuff.
Chris,
We don't do that.
did you see me when I went and I went up against went and just sized myself up against all the height they had? I promise you, I didn't realize those kids were that tall, Chris.
They big, man. Houston got a little size. I don't know how good some of them are, but you know, I watch. You know, the game has changed though, Hatter. The game has changed.
Mhm.
Hey, by the way, I want to get back to that. Your boy David Blow. Is it David Blow? Who's the guy that made that fumble for the Detroit Lions? He ended up playing pretty good. And they won the other day. I can't wait to watch Hard Knocks again.
He played good.
Play good.
The quarterback. Yeah. Okay, it come on tonight.
It was
Come
funny.
on
I
tonight.
found myself watching. I was watching the preseason game, sitting there watching the preseason game. Dude fumble. First thing I say is, "Oh, he getting cut." It's just amazing how stuff just.
Yeah.
He getting cut.
And
Drop a
guess
pass.
what? Do me
I
a
guess he
favor
getting cut.
and go back in the beginning of yesterday's show and the beginning of this show, because I talked about the race norming in the NFL. You know, when they had the suit from the concussion suit, the NFL had to pay, and they were doing everything.
Oh yeah.
to
You told me
keep
about
from
that.
playing the black players who were in. They used a metric.
Paying all players or paying the black players?
Paying the black players. They paying the white players' claims, but they say what they
Really?
do. Yeah, they give you cognitive tests. It's called race norming, and yeah, go back and watch because I don't want to get back into it. But what they did, if you and I went to the doctor, they would have a different cognitive test for us than they would do for their white counterparts, and their white counterparts score higher. And they said the reason we score lower is because we're black. So they gave yes. It's outlandish. So none of the black players were getting the claims. And then they found out that some of the doctors who were, doing the claims, they had a little conspiracy, I guess, with the NFL. But they corrected Dr. Lewis, one of the players' husband. She fought and now, but the crazy thing about it, Chris, some of the guys who kept getting denied, some of them have passed now. They died because they said they said one of their mantras was the people's mantra who didn't want them to get the payments. They said delay. Deny, delay until they die. Deny until they die. Then when they die, they ain't gonna come for the claim no more. You follow me? But now they're going after them to give their estate them claim. Oh, Chris, it's bad. It's awful. And guess what?
They're gonna put the people in jail that put the plan, the policy in place
let
to
me
deny
tell you
them?
something. National TV outlets didn't talk about this that much because they're partners with the NFL. That's why it was becoming of me to share that.
Correct.
That's why I tell people, go back and get yesterday's and the beginning of today's show. And because it's a because you might know somebody who played in the NFL and they don't know they can come back and get this money. Because Chris, they've been turned down so many times. The guy said, man, I ain't going back. But Chris, I got to tell you this story. One of the guys, he was a teacher in his 40s. He was a teacher and wound up being a principal. And then he started repeating stuff and doing, so they fired him, Chris, they fired him because he didn't have all his faculties. So he's 58 years old. And guess what, Chris? He can't even get a job because he don't even like to go out in public because he repeat things and he don't remember things and stuff like that. So that's what the NFL, this monster that I love. I'm watching Hard Knocks and loving Hard Knocks. But this what happens when your body in practice have 75 car wrecks per practice. 75 car wrecks per game. When that body hits each other, that brain keep moving around your cranium, hitting up against your cranium. Yeah, something would happen. But I didn't want to get back into that, Chris. But I know I wanted to make sure you understood that. And it's called race norming, Chris. It was a big thing. and they got caught. They got caught again. But,
Not surprised. Hey, you see Brooklyn Nets and Kevin Durant decided to move forward, huh?
Oh my God, I wasn't surprised. You ain't been on the show. You ain't been watching the show. Hey, I'd say it, Joe Tsai. Hey, see what happened, and I think, and I might be wrong. I don't know. Cooler heads prevail. Y'all got to remember, when KD lost and got swept, the only team got swept, he was hotter than catfish grease. I don't know if KD got enough people around him say, man, put that stuff in the past. Let's go. And KD, he was festering on that. Festering. Talking about promises that wasn't made. Y'all know how sensitive he is. But then all of them got in a room. Clara Tsai, Joe Tsai's wife, Sharon Marks, Steve Nash, Kevin, Rich Kleiman, his guy, they all got in a room and figured out, dude, we can't trade you for nothing. You done messed up the market, player. This how bad he messed up the market, y'all. I got something for y'all. This how bad he messed up the market.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 140.
Hey, man, that's $100. Stop playing with me, Smokey.
Hey, that's what Atlanta was trying to offer them, man. Hey, Atlanta said, hold up. Atlanta said you can't have not Trae Young or none of them, but you can have all the rest of them. Man, nobody want them bums off the bench. And you trying to trade me a Rolls Royce for 5 Acuras. I'm not buying them. But I saw that, man, and I said, boy, that's what Atlanta was trying to get. Atlanta said, we ain't going to give you this, we ain't going to give you. Man, they was talking crazy. So Kevin Durant had to say, well, man, let me go. But Chris, that hurts you. Because Kyrie come to L.A.
Kyrie about to be gone.
Kyrie,
Like you said.
Guess what they going to do?
Whoa.
Guess what?
They had to deal with KD. Now Kyrie out the door.
No, Kyrie, see, this what's going to happen. Because I looked at that team. Did you look at that team? He was trying to leave to go somewhere. Hold on. Did I write this?
Man, please. Don't get back
they're going to beat that old garbage-ass team y'all got out there. Hold up. They're going to have Kyrie, Joe Harris, Durant, Simmons, Claxton, come off the bench, Patty Mills, Seth Curry, Royce O'Neal. Hold on. Royce O'Neal, Cam Thomas, TJ Warren. They better than dog. They better them clowns y'all got out there, player.
Terrible, man. Terrible. Go and get rid of Durant. You still got no play. Go and get rid of Durant. No, I'm sorry. Keep Durant. Let us get Kyrie, and we can keep talking. Kyrie is going to be a Laker, man.
No, sir. Because guess what? All they got to do, you got to realize, Kyrie got the ball out. Because you know what? Kyrie got $200 million that your homeboy just got in Washington. What's the boy name? Bradley Beal said, I'm going to stay with this losing team and get my money. Kyrie was supposed to get that same amount of money. Kyrie got to get that bread, man. Y'all talking all that stuff. He talking about the world is flat. He got to go get that bread, Chris. Kyrie going to play his butt off this year. And they ain't going to give him up. LeBron, man, don't nobody want to play with the king, man.
No, so now you listen, you had 2 good days in your life. You had 2 good days where you actually came to your senses, and now you didn't went back to the other side.
I said, hold up. I said, don't nobody want to play with him, but I play with him.
Hey, by the way, I know something happened this weekend. I'm noticing your background. I don't know why it's not what it's supposed to be. Because the Cowboys won, and I don't understand what's up with your background.
I will never put that mess up again because
I don't understand what's up with
I'm never going to honor that. I'm not many.
Whoa.
I honored it last year, Chris. We can't do it no more.
That was grandfather into the chop shop.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was. Cowboys win is Cowboy Day. And
wait a minute. Mindy, I'm going to talk to Mindy. Mindy. Chris Walker just demanded it. See, she said, stop it, Chris. See,
what?
Sonya said, wow, Chris. See,
Sonya been gone for 10 days. Anybody seen Sonya on the chop shop for 10 days? Everybody listen to her. Tell him, Rick Brown, Turpin. That boy
Hey.
Turpin, he better make the team.
Turpin was in the USAL league.
It don't matter. It don't matter. He ran 2 back. Little big man. Little
He
big
ain't gonna
man.
run. Hey, he ain't gonna. Hey, when it get real, see all of them dudes who he ran it back on, they gonna get cut.
See, there you go. See, there you go with that nonsense. There you go. Everybody playing against them bums. It is what it is. It is what it is.
Never
Dak ain't
could
played
have
against
made
them
it.
bums.
Huh?
Listen, all I know is we're gonna get your fake dude finally came back, Tom Brady, and we're gonna run it back on 9/11. I mean, that's it. Why would they have it on that day? 9/11.
It just happened to fall on that day.
Oh my God. I mean, do you understand what's gonna happen? Oh my God. I just hope people don't make references. Cause
Now, Mindy, you're wrong.
And the Cowboys.
Mindy talking about I don't
stadium?
put the Astros up when they beat them. I didn't put the Astros up before. Y'all got to realize, man.
Nobody care about no Astros.
The Astros play 1,000 games. Man, I've not got time for that mess. Guess who I got behind me?
Kevin Frankman run his mouth. I'm trying. Who?
This who I got behind me now. You can't even see it. Hold up. Let me put it on the screen.
Good.
No, let me put it on the screen for you. You know, because I know you don't know nothing about this kind of stuff. Hold on.
Look at Mindy. She's moonwalking right now. Mindy over there moonwalking.
Hey, check that
That's
out.
the James Harden.
That's James Harden brunch. That's the beautiful black women that was at the brunch. That's who I got behind me right now. So yeah.
Where? I don't see you in the picture. Where you at?
I left and came over to the Ruck on the Wood. Yeah. And they said everybody was looking for me. I said, boy, y'all better. Hey, I started to come back. They said everybody was looking for me. What had to gone? Had to, like them little kids said, had to gone bye-bye. I went to the Rucker on the Wood, and I am so glad I went there. I enjoyed them kids. I enjoyed them.
Man, let me tell you something. That was a blast. It's nothing. This is why I always talk about.
What?
Like there needs to be a station, syndicated, of course, where African American people can talk about sports the way they like to talk about sports. Get sponsors, and I'm telling you, if they did that, it would be the hottest show on the circuit, no doubt.
Yes.
When we went to the look at Mark Edwards just hating, can't help himself. Just can't help himself. They just cowboy haters. You know what, man? Y'all so bad with it.
Don't forget your point, man.
I'm not gonna forget my point, but my grandmother made a comment just blasphemous. We were sitting there watching the game, and she said, "How the girls doing?" I was like, "Who are you talking about?" Talking about the Cowboys. How the cowgirls doing? That's ridiculous. That's your influence, Hatter. You know that, right? That's your influence. How the girls doing? I'm like, the girls. Who are we talking about? Dallas Cowboys? You know what I'm talking about. Who you texting over there?
I'm texting
What's
Jimmy.
mine, right?
Yeah, because, we got guests coming on, and, he just going, come on. So, come on, keep going.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Oh, you heard me texting?
So you go to the Ruck on Wood. I can see you. You go to the Ruck on Wood, and you see people. There's so many side conversations going on. Oh my goodness! The action is in the middle of the court.
Yeah, they had me in the middle of some mess a couple times. Chris,
You like me in the middle of the mess.
Have you plugged your computer up?
I had.
Huh? Have you plugged your computer up?
I'm about to plug it up right now because I'm about to get on one of these people on the feed right now. When I showed up. Who got mad at me when I showed up? There she is right there. See right there? She just came on the feed. Marissa Smith, Chris too good to speak.
Hey, you see what King Six said?
That's
How
your
do you
friend,
pass up all them good looking women? That's hard to believe. Man, all I need is one. I got one already. So I can pass up all of them. Yeah. How about that?
She must be sitting right next to you. Right now,
no one is in here, man. No one is in
She
this
must
house.
be sitting right next to you with that hot iron, with that anger and that wire.
That's old Messy Marvin right there, man.
That eye right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's giving you that eye right now. Say, you better.
Yeah. Well, I can't. Boy, you know what? But Chris, I did want. I know the coach gonna come on in a second, so we got to. I don't want to.
Who's coming on? Who's coming on?
Who's coming on? Oh, you want me to tell you? Okay. Cole Aldridge.
Cole Aldridge.
Excuse me, Griff. Griff Aldridge, head coach along.
Oh, Griff.
Longwood. Griff.
Longwood.
Yeah.
Maidstown. He used to work with my uncle in the church. Come on, man.
Okay. I don't know.
Christian,
why I
man.
said
You know,
Cole,
like
you
him.
remember
You know,
Cole
like-
Aldridge used to play for Kansas? You
Yeah,
remember
back in
Cole?
the day.
Yeah. But
You a scripture man. You gonna like Griff. You like spitting.
no, I just love the Lord. You don't have to. You
That's
don't have to
the
spit
thing.
no scriptures out to me. Shoot, hey, you don't have to spit them out
Yeah,
to
you
me.
like-
I just
Yeah,
love the
you
Lord.
like that preacher.
Huh?
You like that preacher on Boom, what is it, Coming to America? Love the Lord is wrong. That's you. Does that
Oh
it?
yeah. What he said, Randy Watson.
God's unchanging hand.
Man, come
Turn around, ladies.
man, you something. Hey, I
That's
just
you, Hatter.
what'd you say? Hey, Chris, you are man. Hey, what? Hey, man. Hey, Jimmy. Something wrong with this one.
Hey,
Something.
then, wait, hold up, Jimmy. Where you getting all this gear from, man?
Oh, he geared up. And
Yeah,
guess
he get all
what?
this new
He
gear.
wasn't fool enough to go buy no $320 hat from Amiri either. Now,
Yo,
I bet
man,
you Jimmy
how
got
you know
that one.
Hold up. How do you know
absolutely
exactly
free.
how much it costs? How do you know exactly how much it costs? That's what I want to know. The exact number. Wow. Jimmy, where you getting this new gear from?
I ain't gonna tell you.
This Rosewood Spencer on Bywood Street right here. Shout out to Spencer.
I live on South Hall. I can't get a Rosewood hat. What's going on
we
with that?
gonna get you. We gonna get you over there and get you one. Spencer, doing
Yeah.
good things. And then this one right here is the this brand right here is one of the young men who's a freshman at Louisiana Lafayette and had about 5 or 6 threes in the exhibition in one of the games last week. It's a young man from Foster High School,
Oh, Chance.
Chancellor White. This
Oh,
is
yeah.
their brand, Chancellor White.
Hey, you're supposed to have mine over there somewhere,
I
Chris.
got
Jimmy done
yours.
wore the hell out of my shirt, man.
No. I got yours in the bag, and I had it in the car forever, and then we never crossed.
Right.
And I'm like, damn, I done saw you 3 times in 2 weeks, and I ain't never had it in the bag. So now you reminded me
Hey,
to go get
hey.
it and put it back in the car,
Hey.
and that way they put it in rotation.
Okay, put it in rotation, man. That's Frank White,
Yeah,
man.
yours is still in the bag. Remember, yours is a different size. That's how you know.
Oh, yeah. And Jimmy might be a different side. The way I've been, Jimmy. Oh,
Hey, I'm gonna be wearing yours and
yeah, you can get Chris that one.
You tripping. You tripping.
Hey, hell up. He being
No, I ain't
Equinox.
got
Hey,
that
Jimmy.
front load.
Hey, Jimmy. He being Equinox.
Say, man,
No.
got
Watch
that
me
front
again,
load.
Jimmy. Jimmy, watch me. He being Equinox.
people watching.
Yeah, looking at everything in there.
People watching.
Boy, you
Oh, my God.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, we got special guests we expecting
Yeah.
to join us. And this conversation, you guys gear up your questions. It's a head Division I coach. Because somehow, for some reason, it seems that some music sounds better coming from a different set of speakers. So, mind you, Chris Walker was a college coach for over 2 decades.
Mm-hmm.
He tried to tell you guys some things. Some of y'all listen. Some of y'all say, "Oh man, if he knew that much, then why he ain't coaching?" Well,
I listened to him.
He ain't coaching because he didn't have options. He not coaching because he had a time in his life where he gave 2 decades and only had one head gig out of it, and that was a short-lived interim gig. So guess what? He realized he gonna do something about it. He moved on into a factor of society where he can make a greater difference, and that right now, and that is in the commentary, in the journalism sector, in the media
Analyst section.
department. So now his expertise. Don't you guys sit there and watch these games, and you sit there and you look at some people talking and they analyzing, and then you guess what? Man, what are you talking about? You don't even know what he's talking about. But then that guy might have played basketball in college. That guy might have played basketball in the pros, overseas, a career basketball man. But then they say one thing, you say you discredit, he don't know what he's talking about, man, he awful. Then that means that it don't matter if you played or not for some people. You could still be awful in the area of evaluating and transforming what you thought you saw to the ears and eyes of others.
Hey, let me tell you, Jimmy, that is not an easy job. Take it from me, ladies and gentlemen. I take my hat off. The coaches in the green room, Jimmy, I take my hat off to Chris Walker, because everything that I learned and everything that I was trying to do when I was calling TSU games, you know, I watched him and, you know, watched him very closely and then called him, because you know what I like about Chris, y'all? I give him, sometimes he'll watch it and listen to it and tell me, hey, man, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. Just paint a picture. And one of the things he said, man, just people are not there. You're on the radio. You got to paint a picture for them. You got to bring the game to them. And when he told me that, that's how I call the game. I try to, because they can't.
That's when Robert started doing. That's when he started doing stand-up comedian and humor and stuff. That's when that Memphis came out of him. That's what happened.
But guess what? We got a special guest. They putting his makeup on, Jim, in the back.
Y'all need me to go off
guest
because of
room.
the connection, because y'all.
No, we'll see. We'll see. Hold on a minute. Let's see. We're gonna see. We're gonna see. We know how to do it now. We know how to do it now.
I'm just saying.
Jim, don't let Jimmy introduce this guest, because guess what? This guest been coming to Houston doing some things, and I ain't had the pleasure of knowing him. Y'all know who he is, but he been coming to Houston just plucking and giving guys opportunities. And Jimmy, you always talk about opportunities. And if I knew nothing else about this coach, he coach, you all right with me? Coach, you giving our young men opportunities to come to play at your college. But Jimmy, bring coach in. Bring coach in.
Well, I mean, hey man, all day we have a guy with us now who's done a tremendous job at not just recruiting the state of Texas, but closing the deals and signing players from the state of Texas. and many of these players he's recruiting, this is where it comes in at.
Uh-oh.
He's got a few players that wasn't highly established or highly ranked in according to the state of Texas. Mm-hmm. But then they get to him, they excel.
And then everybody try to steal him.
Well, I'm sorry, the word they like to use, Hatter, they developed them. And now everybody wants them.
Yeah.
And most recently was a young man from out of, was it Travis High School?
Yes.
Or was it Bush? Bush or Travis? They have two brothers. They went to two different schools. Uh-huh. And look, Hill, who's winning the transfer portal. He's going to what, Georgia?
Oh, I forgot about that one. Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yes.
Then you have another one that came in we saw he graduated now, and we saw him in the No Excuses Pro League, just giving the business. I saw him in my own eyes hit 30 2 weeks ago. Uh-huh. And that's Shabuti.
Oh, I forgot Shabuti went up there.
Yeah, this the head coach.
Go on. Shabuti from Yates?
Shabuti?
Yes. Man, Shabuti is his game transfers over to that sector with ease. Right. I watched him, Chris. Remember when you had first got, well, you was with CBS already, but when we did the Final Four, we were in upstate 2 years ago, wherever the Final Four was at, and I went to the what do you call it, 3-on-3. And his team, Shabuti's team, had made it to like the Final Four of that 3-on-3. And you get that was the year of the pandemic when they didn't have it in the malls. They didn't have it in the public place. This particular year, they had it and it was closed. Only like a parent or something could get in and watch it. It was I forgot what city we were in, these different Final Fours. And so Shabuti's team had made it to the Final Four. And they lost by like a bucket at the end. But I'm watching this street. It's like a good blend of basketball with street ball. and that's how you can transfer over and you can make bread. He's mature with his mindset. But this coach,
Yeah,
his
man.
name is Griff.
Coach gonna be and fell asleep, Jimmy.
Oh, that's good. No. He ain't falling asleep. He's loving
He a
all of this.
preacher.
Right
Yo, he know how to preach, man. He know how to stay awake.
This is a hell of a pitch right here. He's loving this because technically he's not supposed to he can't get on when coaches get on these platforms.
Yeah, explain that.
They're supposed to talk in general when it comes to like recruiting. That way, far as compliance, it doesn't serve or be misinterpreted as a unofficial visit to a lot of you parents. So a lot of times some people know it, and our job is to make sure that that they don't run off the road, in doing so. So a lot of times you guys may ask questions, they can answer them, but they're answering in general. They can't speak about any recruit or prospect by name while they're on this type of platform. Now, if you ask them in general, they could do so. So we're just getting out a disclaimer stuff out the way, because many of these times the coaches come on here, truth be told, their compliance person is actually somebody from that office or the athletic director's office is watching. And or somebody in the room with them fingers up, letting them know in the time how much they got, just doing it. So, but let's get this thing rocking. His name again is Griff Aldridge. Griff has been getting it in with Longwood. There he is right there.
Hold on,
hey,
Coach, hold on. That's just for you, Coach.
hey, right now, my first question to you, Griff. First of all, Coach, congratulations, man. Welcome to the Chop Shop. You know how it goes. There's no script. Your people probably was going crazy. They were probably nervous as hell. You got to explain to them who Robert Halley is, who Jim Hicks is. You didn't even tell them about Chris Walker because they knew Chris Walker was on here. They would have just been, okay, cool. They would have forget us. Chris is the guy. So now I'm going to ask you first. Explain that white dry eraser board behind you, just in general. Explain that to us. What goes not specifically, but in general, what goes on that?
Talk to me, Coach.
Uh-oh.
Okay, now you go. Come on.
It's mute.
No, it's not. It shouldn't be muted.
Don't worry, Coach getting there. Meanwhile, you're just tuning in. We give you guys a chance to share the show right now. Share the show to your timelines. Share the show to your hoop groups. Share the show to your friends. We're gonna get it in, and we'll try to get all of your questions to Coach shortly. But meanwhile, we're waiting on them to come.
Hey, hold up, Coach. Coach, just go back out and come back in. Like you did, just go back and connect back in. For some reason,
Coach been show us the whole board. He been show us the whole board.
But Jimmy,
you know what's about to happen?
Reason,
no. You know what happened right now? I'll tell y'all what's happening right now. His assistant coach is erasing the hell out of and moving some names around because they know you people in Texas. They're gonna put all y'all name at the top of that board. Because I saw a couple of names at the bottom of the list, and y'all thinking y'all the first option. That's what's about to happen right now. We're about to get real on the Chop Shop and let y'all know how I go. Chris, didn't you have one of them boards? What do those boards mean, Chris?
You're not supposed to see it. That's what it means.
Oh, wow.
Hey, I was talking to a parent this morning. They said they went on a visit this weekend to an elite camp on the West Coast, and they saw the board, and their son name's on the top of the board.
Oh, that's because, again, they rewrote the board because they knew he was coming.
They knew he was coming. They knew Wesley Yates was coming.
Watch they had him at the top of their board. So I said,
he went to Pullman, Washington.
Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
On the other side of the world.
Kyle Smith from H-Town.
And there wasn't no one-way flight coming back, so they had to change the flight to the next morning. How you think they feel about going back there?
I mean, Pullman, Washington enough will make them think about going back there, but I don't want to chop up. I mean,
not if they from the Seattle area. Not if the dad.
Well, they're from Seattle, yeah. No, but Pullman, that's a long way. Horse and buggy town.
Hey, you know the thing that got me? I got off the wagon when they said ain't no air conditioning up there. I said,
there wasn't no air conditioning in the building. Yeah, it don't get that hot up usually.
They don't need air conditioning. Now you need heat.
Yeah. You need heat. Yes, sir. You need heat.
AC.
You need heat.
They're up in the mountains.
Hey, Jimmy, one of the greatest places that I've ever visited in my life. I mean, that's one place I try to just sneak up there
Where?
once a year. Seattle.
Pullman, Washington?
No, Seattle.
Oh,
Seattle.
Seattle. Yeah, but that's
That
not
same
Florida.
area.
You're
up
talking about
there.
Pullman.
I call it the Puget. It's called the Puget Sound.
Yeah.
Portland area. I remember I stayed in Portland for about 2 months.
Yeah.
Do you know?
Tell the truth while you're doing it. Stop lying to folks.
What?
Like, don't do what you're doing right now.
Well,
You're
I just
lying
went.
to people
I
because you ain't telling the
I
truth.
like to go to Seattle.
Tell them why you like the truth.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it was a guy there named let me see, what's his name? Was his name the sneaker? No, it wasn't the sneaker. Was his name the hat? No, his name was the glove. Tell him why
Oh,
you really like going up there. Tell the
No,
truth.
I was going up there for
Tell
Rashard
the
Lewis.
truth.
The glove just happened to be there. Coach, I'm trying to get Coach. Coach says, you can't connect, Jimmy. Golly. Man.
Don't worry, they'll get him hooked up. No,
Okay,
Coach,
we get him in.
they'll get him hooked up.
Great city, Chris. I don't know what you're talking about, but let me tell you something. I've had some of my greatest
Doug Jones
times
is right.
in that city.
We know. You told me. You told me. Yeah, you told
But
me.
it wasn't for
Hey, listen, Doug
public
Jones is-
consumption, Chris.
I didn't say that. I just said you had a great time. See, Doug Jones,
Oh,
that's
here
why
he
he
come.
messed it. That's why I always say he got his nickname Bun Boy. Marriott Bun Boy points.
Okay. I got you, Coach.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
There we go. Now, Coach, now that the board has been revised, let us know what's going on behind.
Man, I'm a verbal processor, and man, it's we actually. I'll show it to you. You can kind of see we throw a bunch of different things down. Let's see, we've got some plays up there. We've got some defensive things that we chart, and then when we're scouting, we use the court to go ahead and draw stuff up how we're going to defend things.
And
Jimmy
now,
wanted to know about that depth chart.
Oh, he had to look again.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a depth chart up there.
Coach had to look again. Hold
Oh,
on
what-
now.
describe what is a depth chart? What is a depth chart?
Yeah.
And how are they used? Not yours, but what is one? Chris, you see, Chris.
No, Coach. He just wanted to know if you had a chance to erase and put the Texas kids up top on the list. That's what he was asking.
I actually think I got two of them up there right now. Now that I looked at it.
Now, Coach, we to explain to a lot of people who don't know geography. You'd be surprised. We had an event in Houston this week in Houston, and there was several parents that came into the building unaware that this college was even located. So if they possibly didn't know where University of St. Thomas dwells, then surely they may not know where Longwood is. To explain to them your geographics of where you guys are located and what conference you're in and how you do it.
Yeah, we're just outside of Richmond, Virginia, so right in the center of the state. We play in the Big South Conference. Longwood's relatively new to the Division I era, and we started in 2007 as a D1 program, and then basically have been going in the Big South since 2013. School is about 5,000 students. And it's a good liberal arts college. It's a good university. So it's really it's been a great experience to be here.
And now you went and you've made a bunch of noise in the recruiting trails at Longwood. And some of the players that you mentioned, I mentioned Justin Hill a while ago, a young man who came there. He pretty much had no Division I offers going into the second half of his senior season. Now, of course, NCAA rules prevent coach from speaking about prospects who have yet to sign. He can very much talk about players who we have signed in the past. And so let's just talk about Justin Hill first. How did you from Whalum in Virginia get abreast to a sub 6 foot guard who could possibly be that good that only 24 months later the SEC is recruiting him to be a starter?
Yeah. Well, my background is I was in Houston for, I guess, close to 15 years, uh, and practicing law in Houston and in the oil and gas business in Houston. And so got to know a lot of people in Houston. Um, and, PJ Kuznard, who y'all no doubt know, I actually coached PJ and Jay, his brother, way back in the day. And so, have so many connections. And people are always texting you, telling you, hey, who you need to recruit, and hey, you need to keep an eye out on this guy or that. Justin is actually a kid I had seen play for the Defenders the summer before, and just honestly wasn't sure if he was a fit. And then, but got to see him play on film. But Hicks, this is a shout out to your service and people knowing and having relationships. There are so many players in Texas. And there are guys like you. There's guys like Sloan. There's guys like Buff. There's guys like Blue, who you really can trust, and they know your program. They know the type of coach you are. They know the type of kid you recruit. And that's where, the benefit really came down was so many guys who are around Justin. Justin's a little bit unique. His family's awesome, wonderful people, but they're not big Houston basketball scene people. They're kind of quiet and keep to themselves, and they know hoops. But it was really some people around him. There, his coach, Travis, who I've known, and you kind of use those relationships, and you take a shot on them.
And of course, you guys just tuned in. This is head coach Griff Aldridge of Longwood University, and he's with us on the Chop Shop, and we're going to address some of your questions shortly. But now, Coach, how does it with this transfer portal thing? At what point can you tell that a kid is pretty much thinking about getting in that portal? Is that a certain game that a kid might do too well? I mean, different people have different antennas or meters in place. How can you tell?
No. And it's hard. I think the portal is really ruining the game in many respects. I mean, I'll go out and say it. I'm a big believer that kids do need to have an opportunity to get to a good situation. My fear is that it's hard to help kids really develop if they're bouncing around. And we're in an environment right now where if things don't work, I mean, when Chris came up and played, you didn't play as a freshman unless you were special. You had to kind of wait your turn. And I'm sorry, go ahead, Chris.
I was special, Coach, but keep going.
Fair point. But for a lot of kids, it's, and I understand kids want to go and they want to be in a situation where they can play, but there are a lot of kids where they just bounce, and I think many of them end up shooting themselves in the foot, and the statistics would tell you that. Most of the kids that transfer, they don't necessarily move to a better situation. It can be a worse situation. And then let me be clear, in no way am I talking about Justin. I think I love Justin, and we have a great relationship, and I'm really excited for him for what he's going to do at Georgia. I think he's going to really blossom, and he's a really coachable kid who is a tremendous athlete, uh, and and so I think his best days are ahead of him.
Coach, let me ask you a question. So, along with the portal, there was a statistic that came out that said half the kids that go on the portal can't find a school, which is tragic. But at the same time, where there's an opportunity for other kids when the kids leave. And you just mentioned that Justin is going on to Georgia. So, obviously a kid from Georgia who wants to go to Longwood, who's an elite athlete, could, probably upgrade your team in your league. It's part of the business. You would be foolish to turn them down if he fit your profile. And when you say it's ruining the game, who are the biggest influencers that are talking? What is the biggest reason why this is happening? We could talk about, well, because they're allowing them to do it. Yeah, but there are some kids who are smart enough not to do it. What is whether we want to talk about bad actors or not, whether it's expectation, whether it's chance to play in the NBA, a kid is being successful at Longwood has just as much chance to make the NBA if he's super successful as he does at Georgia. Point in fact is that ain't nobody from Georgia went to the NBA. How many years other than Anthony Edwards? So the bottom line is going to Georgia is not what's getting you to the league. What is the reason why this is happening when kids are in a very, again, not talking about Justin, when they're very comfortable situation and they're being successful?
Well, I'm very careful because maybe I will talk about Justin. Justin had a situation as a sophomore where, he really excelled this past season, and he had an opportunity to basically go up. And the reality is, whether you are a lawyer in Houston, you went to the better law firm because you made more money and there was more prestige. Whether you're a salesman, you go to the better company because you get more money, you get more prestige. Chris, you're at CBS, not, I don't want to offend.
Don't get me in trouble, Griff. Don't get me in trouble, Griff. Don't do that.
Yeah. But you're at a premier network.
Right.
And so I think some of it's just human nature. But I do think what I would say, Chris, is I don't think it's balanced. I think we're in an environment right now where student athlete welfare is really important. And there are guys like Jay Billis who talk about all of the money in college athletics. And yeah, at Texas, there's a lot of money. And at Baylor, there's a lot of money. But when you start talking about, you're probably really talking about 50 to 75 Division I schools, but there's probably about 225 that don't have those resources and that are barely making ends meet. And so from my perspective, it just kind of spins on itself where we've kind of lost, in my opinion, our way in what the true purpose of college athletics was supposed to be. The reality is not many people are going to go to the league. A lot of people can go play overseas, but not many people are going to go to the league. And I think that's where, in my opinion, we've lost our way and we've gotten so afraid. I think the NCAA has gotten toothless, if I'm honest, and not push back at people like Jay Billis to say, well, yeah, maybe that's right, but we represent more than just the Power Five. And what's good for all of the student athletes, the guys at Texas and at Maryland and at Carolina, that's a small subset of the overall landscape of college athletics.
Interesting.
But let me say this one last thing, Jim, before you jump in. Like, the NCAA tournament, the NCAA, which I thought was governed by the coaches, and they're just the enforcing arm, or the coaches vote on the rules. They always make the rules for the 1%, which is insane to me. I don't get that. And then everyone else has to follow suit. Now, the point I was trying to make is to really, so you can educate people as well. And even when I talk to my NBA scouts, okay, here's a question for you, Coach. Who has a better chance? Because it all comes back to the NBA. We can sit here and play, play make-believe like that has no factor in it. Going to a Power Five may increase your visibility, does not increase your chance of making the league. That's not true. who has a better chance of making the NBA? The MVP, the most valued player of the Big South Conference, or the 8th player playing at coming off the bench at Georgia? You know what I'm saying?
No,
It
I
doesn't
mean,
make sense.
we've got several, Carlik Jones, who's now in the league. Chris Clemens, who played for the Rockets, both came out of the Big South. Carlik Jones decided to stay for 4 years at Radford, and then he transferred because of COVID. He had an extra year, and he goes to Louisville, and he's first team All ACC. And so, Chris, I think your point is very accurate. But here's the problem: everybody who is first team All Big South thinks they're also going to be first team All Big 10, All Big 12, and they don't want to look at the numbers, or they believe they're going to be the exception, and hashtag bet on yourself. And maybe that's right. Maybe that's right. Who am I to say a kid shouldn't pursue his dreams? But they just need to do so with sober judgment and hopefully with good counsel.
And I mean, great question, Chris. And of course, Howard, you got a question to toss at Coach.
No, I just got some questions on the screen. Several of the viewers is asking Coach. We got Aaron. He said, speak to the scheduling and how you pick teams to play against in the non-conference season to make your team better.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll be honest, for us, we play a mix. We play something called guarantee games where higher level programs will pay us, frankly, to come play. We open up this year with Alabama. We're playing Wichita this year right after exams. So we'll have some games like that. We'll also have some non-Division I games that are, hopefully will be a little bit easier for us. And then, to be honest, we just try to find good regional opponents. And I will say, when I first got to Longwood, it was pretty easy. Anybody could come play us anytime. We weren't very good, and they didn't think we were going to be very good. This past year, it's been a lot more challenging, and it's a credit to our guys. Longwood has really transformed over the past 4 years, so scheduling has become a lot more difficult. We've had more than a number of teams, including Gonzaga, tell us no thanks. So, it is what it is. So it can be a challenge for mid majors like us to find good quality games.
Hey Griff, I wanted to ask a follow up on explain to people. So when they hear Power 5, I call it Power 6 because of Big East. They hear Power 5 make the tournament. They get an at-large bid. Just because I want to follow up on scheduling. And I do this. I talk about this on TV all the time. Explain, even if you win your league, you can go 16 and 0, whatever it is. And they're talking about the non-conference. If you don't beat Alabama, and you don't beat whatever other Power 5 you got on your schedule, and you can be undefeated, they still may not choose you to go to the NCAA tournament. Explain to people that last week, and when people, they don't go to the tournament, I don't want to play there. Explain to them how hard it is to make the tournament. They just
yeah. For us, we're in a one bid league, and Chris, we went 15-1 in conference last year.
Wow.
And won 26 games. And to your point, we went 15-1, and had we not won our tournament, we absolutely weren't going. We were going to the NIT. And it just, that's part of it. For us, one bid league, if you're not in the P6 or maybe the Mountain West and the A10, it's going to be hard to get an at-large bid. And even if you knock off some really good teams in the non-conference, the NCAA selection committee is going to say, well, look, you are 15-1. but the strength of schedule of your conference doesn't merit you, getting a large bid over, SMU or Texas or Texas Tech. And there's validity to that to some extent, or to a lot of extent. But it to your point, the reality is for small conferences or mid-major conferences, it's extremely hard to make the tournament unless you win your conference tournament.
Chris, you good? You got a follow up for that, Chris?
Basically, what you tell it, just to put it in a nutshell, Coach, it does not matter whether you finish first or last. What you do then, so you're going to work out in the fall. You did your preseason workouts. You get ready for the team. You do all those things, all that film you watch, and it comes down to 3 games on the weekend. That's basically what you're saying, right, Coach?
Absolutely.
That's exactly right.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Chris, I experienced it this year with Texas Southern. Coach, I was calling some of the Texas Southern games, and that's what I was explaining to the viewers. I said, all of this come down to these 3 games at this tournament. All of you've done all year, it don't matter. You have to win these 3 games, and luckily they won those 3 games. And guess who they had to play? Kansas. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
So, but Coach, I got Aaron. He asked another question. He said, "Can you talk about how freshmen can impress you? Just how a freshman can impress you?"
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that incoming high school players who are transitioning into the college game, they don't understand that there's a transition, just like when you went from middle school to high school to college. It is a big transition. The speed of the game, the physicality of the game, the skill level of the players, it's a big jump. And again, I'm picking on Justin a lot, but if you ask Justin, when he first got to Longwood, he told me this after his freshman season. He said, Coach, when I got here, I saw how good everybody was and how big they were and how fast. He goes, I better pick which seat I'm going to be sitting on in the bench, because I ain't going to be playing. And in some respects, he was right. We had 3 guards who got injured. In fact, another Houston kid, I don't know if you remember Jermaine Drewy. Jermaine out of North Forest High School was up here and pulled had a groin pull, and never really healed. He ended up transferring back to a D2 school. But I think kids don't understand, that the transition is going to be hard and that they're going to have to outcompete the players who are already there. And, because everybody, even, guys who are coming to Longwood, they were hoping to go to SMU. And the guys who were going to North Texas were hoping they were going to go to Texas. And, everybody wants to be at another higher level, and they probably don't respect as much as they should the guys that are there. So being able to compete at a high level, and when I say that, I'm talking about your effort and your toughness. We talk about that a lot with our guys is, effort, it's got to be at an elite level every single day. And then when we talk about toughness, oftentimes, people are thinking about, big dudes like Chris Walker. But, I'm talking about not only physical toughness, but the mental toughness. And, are you able to, the shot clock is down to 6 seconds left and you've been playing great defense. Well, do you shift from 5th gear down to 3rd gear and then boom, they got you at the end of the clock? Or are you the type of a kid who can naturally finish a play? And at least at Longwood, this has been really interesting. We had a young man, he's actually from Norfolk, Virginia, He went to a school like Yates, and extremely talented kid, 3-star. Um, and the thing that he did, he used to, we'd put him in ball screens, and his favorite thing to do was to split the ball screen. And we hard hedge, and he'd split the ball screen. And, I kept telling him, do it about 2 out of 5 times, it would be big time, and it would look nasty. And then the other 3 times, it'd be a turnover. And Jelani just never understood, hey, man, you got to execute. This is about execution. This isn't about making, some big time play. This is about making the simple play over and over and over and over again. And, Chris Walker's, alma mater has become a national power because that's what they do. Fundamentals, 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 fundamentals. And we steal a lot of our stuff from Villanova about playing off 2 feet and making the simple play. And Jelani figured that out about halfway through the season, and he's going to be a killer this year. So going back to answering Aaron's question, so much to me is about that toughness, about the effort, and then about the understanding that, hey, just because I make a highlight reel play one time, I need to make the simple play over and over.
Coach, I want to pick. You just said something, Coach, and I just want to. You said you mimic, not copy, bring some of the principles and the fundamentals that Villanova used. My question is, why aren't a lot of high school coaches teaching those methods? Why not other colleges teaching those methods? This man been winning. He didn't won so much. He said, I'm tired of winning. And I'm tired. I'm serious. I mean, he still look like he in good shape. Man, I'm tired of winning. I'm finna go, hey, Cal, here. You can have it. But why other schools or why other high schools haven't said play off both feet? Because it makes so much sense to me. I love watching Villanova play. I just don't like watching them play with Chris Walker around. But I love watching them play. Yeah. So why?
Well, I think it's a great question. I mean, I do think a lot of people try to steal stuff. Yeah. And I'd say steal, there's no reason to reinvent the wheel.
Absolutely.
I think more people probably should do that. Okay. For us, we take probably more of an analytical approach to how we play. I really like looking at the numbers and the analytics. And, for us, one of the things that we really realized after year one, is probably Shabuti's fault, is how many times I call them hope layups. You'd run in and you'd throw up a shot off 1 foot and you'd say, hope it goes in. And we started to realize that, number one, our 2-point field goal percentage was really low. And then number two, we were turning the ball over a lot because we were jumping up in the air and didn't have anything to do and then just throwing the ball away rather than playing off 2 feet. And so I think, for us, it's maybe a little bit easier. We've got more staff members, Robert, to kind of get into the numbers and try to figure out what they tell us. High school guys, they may not have the ability to stat like we do in college. But then here's the other thing. Oftentimes those aren't highlight plays. There's a young man, and I'm not going to say his name. We're recruiting him very hard out of Houston, and he is a dynamic playmaker. And I told him, I said, hey, man, you are elite at being able to get into the paint. But I don't know what's going to happen once you get there. It's either going to be a highlight reel play or, make sure you play where there are no windows because, you may get a bill after the game. and so I do think some of the, to stereotype AAU culture, we don't teach those fundamentals as much. There's a heavy emphasis on playing games and less on just straight skill development.
Gotcha.
And I also think, Coach, that hurts because we don't teach efficiency. Because that's really what you're saying is how efficient are you? We teach you to shoot in a certain way because you want to be efficient. We make you jump stop because it's the more efficient way to play. And kids don't understand how to read a stat sheet. They don't understand shooting percentages. I think coaches be well served to teach kids how to read a box score, how to read
Yeah.
advanced metrics, and how another team scouts them. They know you go this side of the floor, and they know you're going to split the ball screen. That's the way they play it, and they know that people don't understand how much information is out there. I want to ask a real question about recruiting because I know a lot of people talk about recruiting in Houston. When you look at a kid, right? Because obviously you have to change the tide of what was going on in Longwood, so you have to change the culture, but that means you have to change that's in, right? What is it that you're looking for? How hard? Two things. What is it that you're looking for in a Longwood player, right? Whether that's the way he treats his coach, the way is he a good student? Just really get into the nuts and bolts of what's a Longwood player. The other thing is what does it take for you to offer a player? Jimmy always talks about, I call Jimmy the offer police. And everybody just throws fake stuff out there. Does offers really mean anything to you? It is just because I know Jay Wright, he would not do it. It was like the most sacred thing to say that I offered a kid to come play for me because it was about trust. It was about respect and what that brand meant. And the last part of that question is to really explain to people, if there's a gym with 30 courts in it and you're there watching players, how the hell you know who you're watching? Like, parents really think when you walk in the gym, no, I'm being honest, they don't know. Like, this is what we do. We educate people. There's 30 courts going on. You're at Adidas or wherever. You're watching court 7. There's 27 other courts going on. 29 other courts. Like, make people understand how hard is A, what does it take to offer them? B, what are you looking for? And C, how hard it is to be recruited? Like, how pressures of a thing. Like, they all want to go play at Duke in North Carolina. They don't realize getting to Longwood is hard.
Yeah. No, that's exactly right. I think so. First off, at Longwood, we very much, again, probably follow the Villanova model, which is we don't offer much, and the website Verbal Commits that kind of tracks offers and transfers. You can go and you can see the schools that offer and don't offer. And if you look at Longwood, we don't make many offers. And part of that is, Chris, it's what you said, it's a privilege. To come to Longwood is a privilege. And then number two, for me, and this is a good segue into what I'm looking for, talent is just a small piece of what we're looking for. The key, in my opinion, to being successful is the character of the kid. Does the kid want to grow and develop? Does the kid want to work hard? Does the kid want to be coached? Because talent is just that's where you are today. But what I'm looking for is not where you are today, where you're going to be. And so we do at Longwood, we call ourselves a development program. And that what I mean is twofold. Number one, we're going to develop you on the court. But if you are not a kid who wants to be pushed, who wants to be developed, who wants to grow, then it doesn't matter. I can have the best drills. I can agree to spend all the time in the world with you. But if you don't have an attitude of a kid who wants to grow and develop, it's not going to work. And I remember I got a call about a Houston kid. He was a big kid, and he had incredible upside potential. And I said, well, look, I think he's soft. I don't think he plays hard. It doesn't seem like he wants to work. And he goes, yeah, but his potential is so. I said, I know his potential's there. But what you want me to do is you want me to change his personality and his character and then you want me to teach them skill. I don't want to do that. I want to I need to take kids who already want that, and then I can work with those. So, Chris, for us, the thing that we're looking for is number one, kids who want to develop and who want to grow. And I know it's long-winded, but it's really important. Part of that I think really kids miss is, and I think humans miss, is what holds us back oftentimes is not that we can't dribble the ball with our left hand. It's our character defects. It's that when we get tired, we quit. It's when we get coached, we shut down. It's when we get, whatever it is. I'm a little sore. I get on the phone and I get distracted. Those aren't basketball issues. Those aren't physical issues. Those are character issues. And so at Longwood, we make no bones about it. We're going to try to stretch you as a character, in your character. And we want you to grow and develop as a young man. And you look at a kid like Shabuti Phillips. My recruiting, I've known Shabuti, since he was in 7th grade. But my recruiting pitch to Shabuti was, hey, man, you're going to come here. I'm going to push you like I don't play. And you're going to be stretched to become a man. And that's my commitment to you. And the good news for you, Shabuti, is that the more you grow as a man, the more you're going to grow as a basketball player, because you're going to become more disciplined. You're going to become more execution oriented. That will help you get your degree. All of those things that we as professionals, know makes you successful in your own careers. It's the same thing. So that's a long-winded, but it's huge for us on the character piece. And then what I would tell you is, if you look at who we recruit, oftentimes we're looking for skilled, athletic, and tough kids. So I want somebody who is going to compete. I want somebody who's athletic. And then I want a tough dude. And if you look at a kid like I think I can talk about D.A. Houston, who's from Houston. D.A. 6'3", 200, 205 pounds, but by far his biggest strength is that dude's going to compete. And Chris, if you came up to Longwood and took over as head coach and said, hey, D.A., I think you're going to be a great role player for us, he'd say, that's fine. And then he would just punk everybody until he earned minutes, because that's just who he is as a person. He's going to out-compete you. And, you don't think I can shoot? That's fine. I'm going to make 400 threes a day. We can change that. And that's just who he is as a person. And so I'd say that's kind of the toughness that we really love. And, I think that those core values are what we're looking for as part of what's going to fit into our culture. And so that's a lot of talking. I know it didn't answer your
Coach, I'm glad
question.
That was good. That was good because someone asked the question about DA a while back, and you just answered the question. I didn't know that about him because I've never seen him play that much. I know Jimmy saw him play a lot, but I'm just glad. I'm excited about watching him play again now, because since you just said that, that's my kind of player, and I didn't know he was 6'3".
Yeah,
I did not know he was that tall. So.
Well, he's, in so many ways. I told DA this summer, I said, you embody what we try to be as a culture here at Longwood, which is we try to be tough. We play really hard. We're very unselfish. The scariest thing I've seen in my basketball career was this past season. We were down 1. There was about probably about 15 seconds left. One of our guys took a shot, and DA flew in from the 3-point line, took off from probably the logo to try to get the rebound, and got slightly undercut and did a full flip and landed on his head. I mean, it was scary. very scary. But the refs ended up calling a flagrant foul because it was a reckless play by the guy boxing out. We make 2 free throws and get the ball back, and we get the ball in bounds. They foul us. We go up. We make those 2 free throws. So we were down 1, and now we're up 3, and we end up winning the game. But you want to talk about winning plays.
Yes.
DA flying in, letting his body, not even thinking about his body,
Yeah.
and sacrificing, and he won the game.
Wow.
And, but that wasn't an athlete play. That was a heart play. That was a character play. And so when you have 10 to 12, 13 guys like that, man, you got a chance to be pretty good. And that's what I think, in all honesty, I think that's what Villanova has done.
Jimbo.
Coach, do the state of Texas, how would I say it, over hype their players?
Hey, you're trying to get me in trouble.
Don't go there, Coach. Coach, don't let him. He tries.
No, I
that,
think they're all better. I think y'all don't sell them enough.
I like that. I like that.
No, here's what I think about Texas recruiting. There are so many players in Texas. And if you think about, where I am in Virginia on the East Coast, and there are 50, 60 schools within 4 hours of me, 5 hours of me, Division I schools. And if you start to add D2, D3, it's even more. And in Texas, you've got your P6 schools, and then you've got kind of the North Texas Conference USA type schools, and then you drop down to the Southland and the SWAC. And so there's just not that many schools. So I think it's really hard for Texas kids, if you're not a P5 or a P6 kid. Oftentimes, if you're a coach on the East Coast or on the West Coast, in that kind of middle, it's hard to. I think the Texas kids get under recruited, and so from my perspective, a lot of times, it sometimes seems like a reaction of the overhyping that they're not getting recruited more, and I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but that's kind of how many Longwoods are there in the state of Texas? They're just not that many.
And of course, if you guys just tuning in, this is Coach Griff Aldridge. He's the head men's basketball coach at Longwood University, which is located in the state of Virginia. And Coach, I want to ask you on your schedule, in case another thing, let me add something for those of you who may not know. Real briefly, Coach came in, he's entering his 5th season at Longwood. And when he came there, of course, they probably won only 7 games the year that he came in. They went from 7 and doubled that to 16. Then the pandemic hit. So the pandemic hit, everybody's whole scope of things changes up and modified. I think one year you guys had to play a conference schedule, kind of sort of what Ivy League schools did anyway. They'd play back-to-backs. And all that stuff. I remember a couple of years ago, you implemented that. So that means that your whole scout and the whole mechanism. So those COVID years will go down forever with an asterisk or a mental, unofficial asterisk applied to them. But still, you managed to have double-digit wins in both of the COVID years. Then this past season, with Justin Hill, the kid he's mentioned, so modestly, and I'd be mad as hell. He bolted off and left me, and I found, But anyway, I mean, on a good note, I know his dad, Keith Hill, was a star at MacArthur High School in the early '80s. Back with Howard Turner, the father of Breonna Turner, and you had Keith Hill, you had Howard Turner, you had what's my man Williams? My point guard. Man, I can't think of it. He gonna give me if he's watching.
Don't
But
ask
anyway,
me.
oh man, that was a great team for MacArthur back in the day.
That's the one. That's the only one, the good one they ever had, Jimmy. So keep going.
No, they had another one. They had another one after that because Alvin Brooks III talked about his point guard he got from MacArthur, and they won a national championship at 2 different junior colleges. He's the only person to do that. This player and the coach in the history. They won a back-to-back national championship at 2 different junior colleges. And but back to coach at Longwood. I want to ask you, this past season, you went and you won 26 games. And a lot of people, you won 15 conference games. That's never been done in the history of the school. You conference coach of the year, obviously. Milestones. You go to the dance. Of course, you run into Tennessee, first round, that's a buzzsaw. But here's the thing. I want to ask you, twofold. Who do you have coming back? Because you're losing a lot now, especially then you didn't come in March. You're thinking like, man, we're gonna be all right. We got Justin Hill coming back running this thing. He going in the portal. We got another kid coming. He's gone. So now, who do you have coming back? And I want to ask you, more importantly, with so many of these kids that you're recruiting from the South and all over, people that like Chris, sometimes we would say these are our culture. Do you, besides, I know you have like Hampton in your conference, do you play, what are some of the HBCUs that you're taking out the time and scheduling and games against? You can take it from there.
So yeah, no, those are good questions. I'll take I'll take them in order how you ask. So actually, Jimmy, we actually have a lot coming back. We lost Justin, and we also lost his backup, a kid named Jordan Perkins, who actually played at North Carolina Central. So we lost our point guards, but we have our first team wing back, who is the MVP of the Big South tournament, Isaiah Wilkins. Isaiah was a transfer from the ACC. Deshaun Wade is back. He was an all-conference guard. He was from the American Conference. We actually have another Texas kid who's back, Zach Watson. He's up from Dallas, Plano area. He started the past 2 years. He's back. So we actually have everybody except those 2 guys back. And then we brought in 2 kids. One you may remember, Nick Alame, who played for the Defenders a couple of years ago and was at UT Arlington for a couple of years. So he's transferred in. And then we also brought in a kid, Waylon Napper, who was a starter for Southern Miss at point guard. And so I'm actually really excited. This is probably the most talented team I've had, but we'll hopefully I don't screw it up. But as far as the HBCU piece, yeah, Hampton is been in our conference along with North Carolina A&T, and then not too far away we've played. Let's see, we played Delaware State. We're playing them this year. We've consistently played Maryland Eastern Shore. We're trying to play North Carolina Central this year. That's not going to work. And then Norfolk State, is only about 2.5 hours away. So we always try to get some good HBCU games. Regionally for us, they're pretty close. uh, and provide really good competition. North Carolina A&T probably has one of the better home court environments. Uh, I tell you, the Lancers have yet to play well there. We played there a couple years ago, and I think we set the game of college basketball back a couple of years. It was some of the worst basketball both teams. We got a call from the NCAA. It was so bad they didn't let either team win because it was so bad. But it's a great place to play. But yeah, we love trying to compete against the HBCUs, and you know, I lived a couple of blocks away from TSU when I lived in Houston. Used to go watch Mike Davis's teams practice a bunch, and so I always, you know, love seeing those guys succeed.
And I mean, and that's now on those games. You mentioned like guaranteed games. Those HBCUs, many of those, of course, are driving distance, but are those kind of quote unquote guaranteed games for those HBCUs on the same on a I guess on a bell curve as opposed to like you playing, you know, against a P6 school? Does do you know? My question is, does those HBCUs get a check when they come play your schools?
Well, to be honest with you, now you're asking. I'm going to answer it a little bit more about Longwood. You know, Jimmy, when I first got here, the answer would have been no. Like we played Maryland Eastern Shore and Delaware State, and that would have just been straight up. You know, almost like Houston Baptist playing Texas Southern, just a straight up game. Where Longwood is now as a program, and where we are hoping it will go to become, you know, more akin to like a North Texas, you know, where they've taken the program. You know, we actually had one team. We're playing South Carolina State this year, and that'll be a guarantee game. Delaware State, you know, there's guarantee incentives involved in that, and so yeah, that's certainly something. And for the HBCUs, you know, when Mike Davis was there at Texas Southern, you know, he'd play like 15 of them, and he'd have to fly all over. I think there's real benefit regionally for the HBCUs to be able to get on a bus and not have the exhaustion and the fatigue and the wear and tear to their bodies, but still be able to earn, you know, some compensation and guarantee money to support the program.
And we have a couple of questions from the viewers right now. We're going to ask you guys to share the show. If you haven't done so already, hit the share button. Share the show to your timelines, to your groups, to your social media platforms. It's a great convo. This is head coach Griff Aldridge of Longwood University. You don't get this type of candid conversations with a head coach. You guys are, and I'm loving the questions. Keep them going. We're going to land the plane shortly, but we have a couple of questions in the vault.
This is a good one for Coach, and he probably can land it with this one. Corey Henderson actually, Coach, he said, do you have programs or activities that either Longwood or your basketball program offers student athletes that can help them understand and or deal with mental health, social issues, tensions that are lingering in our country, and if they need it or if they want it?
Yeah, man, that is such a big issue right now. You know, I think, you know, obviously the country's in a rough spot right now, as polarized as we are, and difficult issues. You know, the George Floyd things. You know, it's a big issue, and then just COVID. I think just COVID and coming out of COVID, the challenges that kids have had. You know, obviously we've never been through this before, where people were, you know, locked down a little bit and not expected to go out. The short answer is, yeah, that's something that we we constantly try to address at Longwood, either through our minority groups, affinity groups, and situations like that. Our SAC, which is our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, has seminars that are sponsored on campus. I will tell you that at least at Longwood, we've had more than a few speakers come in to talk about things. Zoom conferences. We will have our police come in and allow our young men to kind of share how they feel, and specifically as it relates to law enforcement. And one of the things, and Jimmy, you just said I'm being candid. I think this is really true. I lived in Third Ward for years, and I was always impressed. I go to the Yates games or go, to Barnett and watch these games, and the law enforcement or the student officers or the school officers there, they understood the community.
Yes.
And they knew, at least in my opinion, I may be way off on this, it's just my observation, was they knew what was a problem and what was just kids being kids. And they knew, oh, hey, we need to step it up and get involved here versus, oh, that's just, Griff being a knucklehead. He's always, a knucklehead, and we can play with him. But they were not. And so that's something that we want our guys to be more familiar, whether it's our campus or our local law enforcement, so that people are humanized and it's not just stereotyped and things like that. And so that's been something that I think has been useful.
I got a little addendum, Coach. What about, do you have a player on your team that kind of go to a lot of this stuff and make sure the other teams, instead of coming from you so much, that a player, like one of those kind of players say, hey man, this how it is, man. This how it is. Hey man, have you have a player stepped up and was the captain of like Malcolm Brogdon? You have a Malcolm Brogdon type kid on your team that gonna go and get this information and bring it back to his team.
Yeah, I don't know if I actually think probably the Zach Watson, the kid from Dallas, is on our student athlete advisory committee. Okay. So he's going to be a great example of that. We've got another kid out of Atlanta, Leslie Nkerium, who's Nigerian descent but grew up in Atlanta. Those two young men are pretty involved and active. But to be honest with you, Robert, I think it's a conversation that needs to continue to happen.
Oh, yeah.
And it's, and I think the more those conversations can happen and people can express where they are and how they feel in a safe place. And that's why I like doing it with the team, because, there is trust, I think.
So now, speaking of this, Coach, and everything in society, the mental health factor, we just learned that one of the former executives with the Houston Texans, he passed away yesterday, and right now they're attributing the cause of death to mental health. And then everything coming out of the pandemic and everything that has taken place in society since 2016, in 2018, I'm sorry, everything that's taking place in society, the recent election, 2020. Then you dealing with molding men most of these men are men of color, and then you have to deal with now the influx of where you were the de facto dad away from home. Now you have third parties who's stepdad away from home. So now you're battling with all this stuff, and then the mental health part. How is that, especially for a white head coach in today's world, trying to raise 3 black kids at home that people don't even realize? You got 3 black kids at home.
Wow. In Virginia. Wow. Coach, you've been working.
Well, they're actually all from Houston.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right, because you spent so much time here. Right.
Yeah, they're all born in Houston.
Wow.
Houston
Unbelievable.
kids.
Go and finish that, Coach, if you want to. Go chime in
No, I
on that
mean
one.
it's Jimmy, if I'm honest with you, my kids, and so we have 3 adopted children,
Awesome.
and I grew up in Virginia Beach. My dad was in the military, and I played AAU basketball. I went to a private school, and like an Episcopal high school, something like that. And I played for a program called Boo Williams.
Yeah.
But my perspective on race really changed when I moved to Houston. And I coached with kids out of Third Ward, a lot of kids from Yates. And so much of it was you get to know who they are. You know their stories. You know their challenges. And it humanizes the circumstances in which they're growing up. I still remember one of my players, from early on this, I'd coached him in like 2002, 2003, and in 2013, he was driving a truck for UPS, and I said, Raymond, what's going on? He said, well, I just lost my job at UPS. And I said, oh, well, what happened? And he'd really gotten his life on track. And he said, I said, man, my car broke down, Coach, and I couldn't get to work. And he said, so they fired me because I couldn't get across town to work. And it hit me in such a deep way because so many people are living on the margins where a car breaks down and they don't have $400 to get fixed, or they got to wait 2 weeks, or they can't just go to a friend or their parents or whomever and ask for that. And that humanizing element, I think, is so important for people to understand. And it's one of the sad things for me across our country right now is that everybody stereotypes one another. And the reality is we don't know each other as well anymore. We're all in our own tribes. And, we probably have a lot more in common than we think. And so, for me, going back, you're asking about raising young kids who are African American. It's drastically changed, our perspective. And there are kids. But, the neat thing, Jimmy and Robert, is I think it's really impacted not just us, but our families, our social circles. And I'm not just talking about political, I'm just talking about just in general societal, people understanding things differently and being much more sensitive to the plight of people of color in this country in this day and age. Um, they're very complicated issues, and they require tenderness, they require empathy, and sensitivity.
Wow. Wow, coach.
So now, I mean, this is great convo right here. Now, guys, of course, you just tune in. You have a chance to go back and watch the show or the convo in its entirety. Uh, for a lot of you that are fans or followers of Longwood University men's basketball department, you can feel free to come on back and check us out. We're the Chop Shop. We talk about a lot of topics and go to the depths that most people are afraid or don't care to give time or dedicate their time towards doing. We have conversations, and we also allow you to interact with the guests in real time. You don't get that anywhere because at the Chop Shop, there's no script, there's no teleprompters, there's no post taping and reposting. This is just what you get in real time.
Nobody telling us what to do in our ear. I just got this on to keep you from echoing, coach. When I put these on, if you notice the echo stop, that's
Yep.
why I put these on. So I just wanted to add that. But keep going, Jim.
Yeah, and so lastly, we got to get ready to land the plane,
Yeah, we gotta
Coach.
get out of here.
We got to get up out of here. Everybody got a lot of things to do. I just want you to chime in real quick. The grassroots NCAA recruiting calendar was recently released for next year, and I know first thing that stuck out. There's only one live period in July next year.
Oh, wow.
There's only one live period in July. That's for 4 days with their grassroots teams. However, they're planning to bring back the college basketball academies, north, south, east, and west. That's going to be about 5 to 6 days. So that period will be longer. Remember, you have that's a camp. So it's pretty much invite or approval only for the Division I coaches to see. You have 4 days in the second weekend in July with their grassroots team. 2 weeks before then, those at the end of June is those high school for state by state during the governing bodies. Texas, we have the TABC. Those are that weekend. So that means the only time that kids will have to be seen with their grassroots team in 2023 will be in April twice and 1 week in July. 1 weekend in July. Your thoughts on that? That good or bad?
I don't like it. I didn't like the academies. I think, I think getting guys play with their high schools and with the grassroots team, you're getting a better feel rather than, just it's basically a basketball camp and you're throwing, 8 or 9 guys together for the first time. So if you're an unselfish kid, you ain't gonna shoot, and it's gonna be hard to showcase your abilities. I know the NCAA is trying to figure things out. I don't know why they're bringing the academies back. They're so expensive, and they wanted to take money out of grassroots. Well, now we've got NIL, so money's here anyway. So I don't understand why they're doing that. But nobody asked my opinion. I think it's a real challenge. I think it'll be harder for high school kids. I think it's really unfair right now to high school kids. But you've got an extra COVID year for college guys who were in college during the COVID year. And then you've got the transfer portal. So I just think it's really difficult for college kids, high school kids to be recruited effectively. My strong encouragement to kids would be if you have a school you like and you have an offer, you better take it, because in are going to change, and the transfer portal will open up. And I can be honest with you, we'll probably have about 5 or 6 scholarships available this year. We're looking to take 2 high school kids and probably either 4 transfers or combination of transfer and junior college kids. And that's a hard thing. It's a hard thing.
Indeed, it is, man. And guess what? We'll have more conversation on this in the days and weeks to come.
Wow.
But we appreciate it, Coach. Griff Aldridge Guides. Now, Coach, how can they get in touch with your program? Is there a social media handle? Is there a certain email address? If they have more questions about college basketball, recruiting, or even Longwood?
Yeah, you can contact me directly. My information's on. Don't call the number, because I don't think the office number. I'm not even sure I have an office number. I only use my cell phone. But my email's up there, so feel free to email me at longwoodlancers.com and just go into the men's basketball and the coaches, and my email's right there, so they're welcome to do that. We have both Instagram and Twitter handle information about us, but I can promise you we're going to continue to recruit Houston hard, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say his name or not, but we've already got another commitment from a Houston kid in 23 that we're really excited about, I think we're about to take off as a program, and I think Texas kids will be a big part of that.
Wow. Hey.
Indeed, I'm looking forward. All eyes are on the Longwood Lancers, and especially knowing that they have established one of the more formidable out-of-state pipelines into the great state of Texas, the new Mecca. That's what we're calling it down here in regarding the states. And no disrespect to New York City whatsoever, but times change, and so does the facts.
You
That's how it was
said. You didn't say only Mecca. You said the new one.
That's
New
right.
York, New York can be the old one. We just the new one. It's okay.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Times change.
Yes.
How do you say it? As the what?
As the facts change, the truth change.
Bingo. Everybody.
But thank you, Coach.
Anyway, we're gonna ask everybody. Thanks a bunch, Coach.
See you guys.
Ask everybody to share the show on your way out the door. And it's time for us to slide down Dino's back and yabba dabba do this thing on this Tuesday. Groovy Tuesday. And once again, as promised, we had a different college coach back in the saddle to share and take your questions and dialogue with you about recruiting and whatnot. Keep those questions. We'll be right back at it next Tuesday. We have another college coach for you guys as well. I think next Tuesday. Then the Monday after that is Labor Day, so we're back on next Monday. Okay. Now, and also, guys, don't forget, go over to rcsports.com. Check out the VIP news. Check out the front page. Go look at the rankings list. Go and sift through that website, as we are in the process of transforming it and modifying it. And of course, rankings will come out as well. But meanwhile, more importantly, share this show and give us a thumbs up. If you're on our Facebook feed, go over to YouTube and subscribe to our YouTube page. Follow us on our social media platforms. Your ability to share the show and relay us to others, it helps, because you never know who's watching. And one thing about us, you can't deny it. Right now, one thing about it, one word to describe the Chop Shop. We'll get in that tomorrow on Women Rock Wednesday, but I'm going to lead it off with one: consistent. Monday through Thursday, 12 to 2 Central Time. And the Dodgers took a L last night. We know they took a L. Ain't nothing new.
You know I got to put my boy Ron Wells up there.
Astros are in action with a 3-game series starting today. Carlos Carrera comes home to Houston for the first time since, well, for the first time ever playing in Houston without an Astro uniform on.
Are y'all
So,
gonna boo him?
I don't think he would be booed.
Okay, cause y'all some haters down here with somebody.
I don't think. I think Carlos Carrera is going to get a standing O. You know why? Because the Astros are doing. Because the Astros are doing fine without him, and so there's no misery.
So
Carlos
if you're doing
Carrera,
fine. So when Houston,
I'm just saying.
so when the Rockets start doing fine, they'll start liking the players that left.
Yeah, or unless he got to keep on making trips into the CUNY home. Next time, make the CUNY home. That should be evidence. The CUNY home should be first on that list now. That's the way to go. That's the way to go. I understand. No disrespect going to U of H. And of course, Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church. I mean, yes, you do that. But the CUNY home's right around the corner.
Yeah.
That, I guarantee you, in his heart and in his soul, he left that place with a bunch of high fives are probably all over the place. They did not really. That is where.
Yeah.
You understand? Economically, might not have the same impact as going over Wheeler Avenue. But boy, in your soul, when you go and serve in those type of places, now you guys get it. You get to see how you see it. It ain't your first rodeo, but
Jimmy, that's the first time Jimmy, I didn't even know where I was going, Jimmy. They just sent me said, meet me here. I didn't know because it took me another way. I'm used to knowing the CUNY Homes is next to TSU. I went down a whole nother way. I didn't know the CUNY Home was that big and that long. And I went through the back way and I didn't see no signs. I just saw a basketball court. And I just got out and just started kicking. I didn't know I was in. You know what I did, Jim? I said, where am I? He said, man, you in the CUNY Home. I said, what? And Jimmy, these little boys, Jimmy, I'm telling you, this little boy, I would always remember him for the rest of my life. I should have asked his name. That kid walked James to the car. Then when James left, he talked to the security. He said, hey, man, could you give me James Harden's number? Jimmy, he was serious. He said, hey, man, hey, sir, could you give me James Harden's number? He said, what you want his number for? He said, what you want to ask? He said, I got a couple of questions. He said, I want to know, do he live in a mansion? How big is this? I want to know he live in a mansion. And his sister was there. She said, well, it's a big house, but you don't know if you call it a mansion. He said, what's the other question? He said, I want him to send me some shoes. They got that boy's address, Jimmy. The next day, I think the sister had already got somebody. Jimmy, and Jimmy, it just happened so organically. One of his security, Jimmy, his wife, grew up in CUNY Homes. So that's why they said, man, okay, U of H, y'all ain't happening. We taking this to the street. We taking this to the hood. Jimmy, that big old U-Haul truck pulled up with all that Adidas. Jimmy, I ain't no Adidas backpacks with that nice. I ain't get one. Nico, I didn't get one, but boy, Jimmy, that backpack. Them Adidas backpack, Jimmy got the thick part for the computer.
Well, Adidas has done a lot in the past year, capitalizing, and you have to realize, Under Armour was already teetering. As a result, the stock and the drastic fall in the shares. We were talking about that last year. Then Nike had pretty much an indirect overhaul of the staff in their grassroots, whereas more than half of the staff in a 12-month span they departed. Think about that. In grassroots for Nike, more than half of their staff, maybe I want to say 75%, are new faces. Right. So that means now everybody's learning each other. One of the administrators of Under Armour is now running Nike in grassroots. So Adidas did the right thing to do, whereas, especially after the negative public sentiment and the smear that was there as a result of the federal, the garbage ass federal
Investigation. Yeah.
Indictments against the guy and all that stuff.
Mhm.
They come back. They have, their product now. They have a lot of the what they call it, the luxury. What they call the shoes, what they call the shoe lines that's not basketball. They life. What they call them?
Lifestyle, casual lifestyle.
Those
But
they
but
brought
Jimmy,
them flip flops. They
Okay.
have better flip. They have a nice line of flip flop. They got those. They even got those kind of what they call
got
them.
girls
With the kids
gear.
wear.
Girls gear is fine.
No, the girl, the female line has been
Yeah.
upgraded to
Mhm.
where it's more easy, more better, pleasing. But those things that those kids wear all the time, those little shoes, them little turtle, them little
Look like Crocs.
Crocs. Adidas has some. They've morphed
type
into
stuff.
that, made their own Croc
But
version.
Jimmy, I got to give you Adidas and James another plug, because James looked around. I kept seeing him look, and I thought he was just looking, trying to watch the kid. He said, "Man, I'm finna come back and do this basketball court. I'm coming back. We're coming back and doing this basketball court." And he kept talking about. So that's in the plans. That's probably in the plans, because the Adidas, one of the Adidas heads was there. That's probably in the plans already,
yeah.
Jimmy.
That's all it takes. And
That's
guess
all
what?
it takes, man.
It's not.
All it takes.
Trust me. It might sound crazy, but to redo the court, you got to go. Got to go and put the paperwork in and all that.
Yeah,
To get the city actually comes and does it.
Oh, that's right.
But
right.
but it's not as expensive as one would think.
To him, it didn't matter. To
And
me,
the- and
the
the-
way he
and-
looked
yeah.
at, he said they got to have better. These kids got to have better courts than this.
Yeah, that's all
And
it
go,
takes.
and hold up, and goes. You
That's all
remember?
it takes.
You remember? Snoop and Stephen Curry went back to Long Beach and redid Snoop's whole gym that he grew up, the Boys and Girls Club, that he grew up in. So, man, it's just Jimmy, them little kids that I met over there, they're gonna be forever etched in my soul for the rest of my life. And I know at some point we're gonna do something, because when they dedicate the court and do something, I'm thinking they thinking about doing something for Christmas over in the CUNY home, because I overheard them talking about that. So it's just James coming over there and seeing it. Jimmy, it was a monsoon. I don't know if you know, it rained hard. And he just waited until that thing, and then he said, "Okay, man, let's go." And it was unbelievable, man. It was. I'm just proud of the team and everybody. And Jimmy, they had already had an event going on out there. I can't wait to find out what event that was, Jimmy, that was going on out there before they even came up. So, but yeah, man, let's get out of here. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate y'all today. Yes, Rod Wells, I saw the new French's chicken on Scott. I will not. I don't be eating fried food no more, Rod Wells. Jimmy, I had to cut Jimmy. I'm telling you, Jimmy, I might have to get me a large, Jimmy, that next shirt, cause these shirts falling off me right now. So
That's a good thing, man. A good thing. I'll be there the Wednesday after Labor Day. I'm coming. I'm giving everybody a head start this year. But I'm about to eat everything out the grease I'm eating right now for the next 10 days. Everything out the grease. I mean, them little old.
Hey man, Chatterbox. You know what, Chatterbox? Man, I ain't grilled that grill, man. My grill probably got all them. What's them little old things be growing coming in summer? What's them lizards? Man, I hate them damn lizards when I go out the back. Can't stand them lizards. They probably, man, I got the grill. I got to make Chatterbox some ribs of my own. Chatterbox, I forgot. My bad, baby. I got you. I'm gonna make you some ribs. Okay. But y'all, let's get out of here, Jimmy.
Yeah, we're gonna get on up out of here. See you guys on tomorrow, man. Peace. We up out of here. Chop shop.
Jim Hicks, Rob Hatter. You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop. I'm Retro. Let's get it. We in the Chop Shop. We live in the Chop Shop. We talking sports talk. We live in the Chop Shop. We in the Chop Shop. I'm talking sports talk. So turn your dials up, it's live in the chop shop.